Hey everybody, this is JGSF 1987. Yeah, I know. Another video with, saying earthquakes again. Yeah, just bear with me on this one. The reason I'm going to say that is that there's 3 different sections that I'm going to try to break down, and I'll try to be as brief as possible with them. Alright, so let's start. First of all, we got Kīlauea. I'm sure all of you have been watching what's been going on. It's like, oy vey. It's gone from its normal effusive to now explosive eruptions. That is just, ugh, I can't imagine how frightening that kind of spectacle is. I talked to a couple of friends of mine about, I don't know, maybe last week, who live in Oahu, which is luckily on the other side of the state of Hawaii. So far, from what I know, they haven't been too strongly affected by it, but I don't know, things could change. And it's just the nature of living in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Only with Hawaii, that's a hot spot, but that's common knowledge. I know the USGS has been continuing to make the point of saying, like, the big one hasn't come yet, the big one hasn't come yet, the big one hasn't come yet. Well, I'm going to go with their judgment on this case because they're the experts. They know what they're talking about. Okay, number 2 being the earthquakes that I know, this is the second time I made a video that has earthquakes as a topic. That's because we're in the lovely state of California. We're having, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area, we're having, guess what? We're having earthquakes. Yeah, there was another 3.5 that struck over. No, actually, I'm sorry, it was a 3.2 that struck earlier near Morgan Hill. And another, I think, 3.5 that actually struck near Oakland. Or a 1-something that struck near Oakland. I don't know. I don't remember how big it was. I think it was a 1 point something or whatever. I don't know. I'll look it up and I'll throw it in the description. The measurement by the U.S. Geological Survey. But yeah, there's more earthquakes definitely taking place, especially off of the Hayward Fault. It's starting to get kind of active, which I know. Which I know for a lot of people who don't live in Alaska or California, how can it be so common saying something about this? Well, let me tell you something. Mags 1 to 3, actually no, I take it back. 0, and even the negative zeros up to about 3, yeah, they practically happen all the time. There's a lot of earthquakes. Usually they're not that big. Occasionally you do get one that is about a 5 or a 6. They're not super common, but they're not like ultra rare either. No, they happen from time to time. But yeah, getting hit with like anywhere between 1 and 3, no, or 0 and 3, no, that's normal. Like I said, we get that all the time. The only time that I would tell you that the only time that I would say you should be scared if you're here in the state of California or up in Alaska is if it is getting up to about a 6. Yeah, somewhere between a 6 and a 10. That has some cause for concern. 5 to 6 is like, okay, I don't really want to deal with it, but it's, at least it is somewhat tolerable. But no, 6 and up, no, but like 7 and up, like, no, actually, once you get past, you know, level 6 or something, yeah, that's when you start real. That's when you should start getting scared. Anyway, so we've been having. But then again, the USGS has always been saying that, has been saying for quite some time, that the Hayward fault is really due for a really, really, really intense earthquake, like somewhere around a magnitude 6 to 9, basically, or about 6 to 7, actually, is what they're thinking. The last time there was one of that size was in 1868, and they usually happen and they generally happen in about, they said the pattern is more or less 100 years or so. Well, it's been more than 100 years. It's been almost 100 and, it's been closer to 150 years, actually. And right now, we're due. It's just it's a matter of waiting for that big one to hit, but it will when it chooses. Also, the thing with the Republicans is that, I don't, if you've known me long enough and you've read my blog enough times, you know that I have absolutely no love for the Republican Party. But I can go on a rant saying, like, oh, how they're just such a bunch of, like, you know, how they're nothing, is there nothing more than a bunch of cranky old white men, or as I like to put it, a bunch of cranky old white guys that are racist and such. I mean, yeah, they're that, but it's not just that demographic. The thing that actually you may actually think is kind of like, oh, what the hell are these guys thinking and such? I saw something from the Young Turks, actually. They made a video showing that there was some Republican running for office saying that we should euthanize poor people. Yeah, that's, well, but given the direction the Republicans have been going over the past, I would say 50 years or so, but especially when it cranked up about almost 10 years ago. Yeah, at this point, you can expect anything to come out of their mouths. You know, something that just is so off the wall. Now, they say a lot of things that are off the wall, but this one is particularly bad. It's not because of the fact that, oh, it's not just because it has to do with poor people. Look, there's some classist reasons for that, but there's also, that comment in particular has an absolute unmistakable racial overtone. So you can tell that the guy who said that is most likely racially prejudiced. Because whenever you think of poor people, you think of the welfare queens, aka black people. So when they said that they really want to euthanize poor people, guess what? They mean euthanize black people. I'm not just saying this for the sake of creating hyperbole here. I'm saying this because I know, as a history major at SF State, I just know from my own studies that you could practically, if you look at what they're saying and you think back to a lot of what is driving it, it's easy to see the pattern. Anyway, like I said, I would try to keep this one brief, and a little over 10 minutes, not great, but at least I don't think it's that great on my end that I gotta do a little bit better with these. And probably I do, but I'll get more practice as time goes on. So anyway, yeah, if you you have made it this far, I'm gonna say thanks for coming to see it, and thanks for watching. I also want to say that if you like what you see, come and subscribe. And if you can also help me out by contributing to this channel on Patreon, because whatever you can give me, or shall we say whatever you can give to help sustain this channel, actually would go a long way. Anyway, I'm JGSF 1987, and I am out of here.